Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to OzByDrone. I'm Greg. And he's John, and I can't hear him all of a sudden. Have you muted yourself, John?
Here I am.
There, that's better. Good, we can hear you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. We've got a great show this week. Lots of great guests to come in, so I'm really looking forward to chatting with our most guests we've ever had on the show, I think, today, which is absolutely wonderful. We've got some great tech to show you, so stick around, enjoy us for the next hour or a little more, and enjoy the fun.
You know what? We're about to break the internet. You're quite right. We've got 3 remote guests, plus Lloyd, plus John. If this doesn't break Wirecast, nothing will. Let's touch wood. But move on. What's happening for you this week? I mean, we were chatting before about a DJI story that's hot off the press.
A couple of stories around that I know I can't see. We've come just latest in. DJI have doubled their battery warranty from 6 months to 12 months. There are actually many countries in the world where that's a requirement for a product that you sell under a retail license, and so they've met those requirements. And also, I think everybody will be more than pleased. It will still have a limit of 200 charges for most of their consumer drones. But of course, the 12 months is going to see most people enjoy that little bit of security from having a longer battery warranty on their drone. So that's good news. And the only other one quick I got this morning was there was a, which we'll be following, a police drone in Canada has been struck by a light aircraft on its approach to landing. And so there's a lot of talk on around the traps on the forums about let's see what happens with this one, because if it was any of us, it would be quite a big story and a lot of uproar. But apparently they're trying to keep the initial stages of it a little bit quiet. So we'll find out eventually what went on there. But they were flying. The police were operating one of their drones in right in the approach path of this airport, and it struck a light Cessna aircraft just under the propeller. Apparently the propeller was struck as well. The aircraft landed safely, of course. So we'll be looking for a little bit more on that one in coming weeks. I'm sure that'll be interesting to watch that unfold. But here we go. Let's get on with our regular news stories.
Let's get on with the news indeed. And as always, OzByDrone News is brought to you by AirData UAV. Is your drone healthy, or is it about to surprise you on your next flight? Don't wait to find out. Discover under the hood information and review the early signs of problems before you take off again. Use the discount code OzByDrone20 for a further 20% discount. There's a link in the description, and as always, there's a free version of that product available as well. Just again, John, we had the same thing last week. Your audio is a little bit low. If there's anything you can do on your end, because
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Fix that up. Okay.
So our first story is a drone competition. Innovation in technology has often advanced in response to challenges and competitions. Washington University in St. Louis has students enter the IEEE Student Robotics Competition. This year, students participating were tasked with developing software programs, to identify balloons by their colors and autonomously pop them in a particular order using a drone. Now, before you get worried, to safely complete the task, the team in the video decided to use sponges soaked with limonene, whatever that is, to dissolve the balloons. The targets were identified using a software called OpenCV, which is a computer vision software library. The team set thresholds for shape and color, and on competition day, the balloons had to be placed in the grid as specified by the judges immediately before launch, so they couldn't pre-program it. This inability to plan for locations added a new element to the challenge, but a great way to get students involved in drones and technology and software and having a lot of fun at the same time.
Yep, these are the problems to solve now as we look to integrating more and more AI into the platforms that we see flying. It's going to be very exciting. This merge, if you like, is not going to stop. There's going to always be another level of AI that we can include in the aircraft and what they're able to do autonomously. Just very exciting times.
Yeah. I'll just ask my producer to open that Sound Desk application and see if she can increase the second fader and see if we can bring up, John, that one that I told you about this morning. Sound desk, the blue one. Apologies for the... It's right on the bottom. There we go, that one. And the second fader, see if we can push that one up a little bit.
Hello, hello, hello.
That'll push everyone up. There we go. That one, yeah, move it up, slide it up.
There we go. Okay, you hear me now, okay?
A little bit better. Okay, let's move on to our second story, which is this one. So this is a 360-degree camera drone story, and certainly the first 360 camera drones were built with modified versions of existing drones like the Mavic Pro, the Mavic 2 Pro. However, due to aircraft geometry, they had a very large parallax stitching error and a very large minimum stitching distance. The AirData team has shown a demo of their invisible 360 octocopter flying with full stabilization. Now, what's interesting to note about this one, we've got this aircraft, this is just a test of stabilization specifically. This is not showing us the 360 vision. And of course, we're not a 360-degree broadcast. But if you go and search on the internet, either after the show, and search for AirData 360, you'll find a number of 360-degree videos on YouTube, and you can pan around and move around, and you cannot see any evidence of the drone there at all. The vision from this was absolutely incredible.
And what's interesting about this tech, Greg, is what we'll see eventually this merge with VR. So that obviously as you move your head or your VR goggles, you'll have this ability for 360 vision. That'll lead on to a lot of other things too, in terms of being able to look behind you, not just collision avoidance, but it's interesting how the future FPV cameras may include this 360 degree technology with head sensors, so that the camera basically doesn't need to be on gimbals or anything. The 360 camera can just work with its appropriate lenses, and it'll be a fantastic FPV experience, also in many commercial applications as well.
But the interesting commentary on this, we've got that second video playing now. Let's just cut back to the video. There we go. So this is their wind test. What I find interesting also, a lot of people historically in doing some of the early invisible 360 work, the basic premise was you're going to put it on an FPV quad. And certainly this is one of the first commercially available stabilized aircraft platforms with an invisible 360. And if you have a look at the vertical height of that unit with the camera mounted in the middle, makes it very attractive to get rid of all of that vision of the props there. You just can't see anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And again, go and check it out on YouTube. You guys will fall in love with this one. It's really cool. But let's get back to the studio and move to our next story now, which would be this one. So we've all heard about 5G and how it's the next greatest thing. Well, Qualcomm Technologies have unveiled a drone platform and a reference design that offers both 5G and artificial intelligence capabilities. The Qualcomm Flight RB5 5G platform is designed to accelerate development of commercial, enterprise and industrial drones. Powered by the Qualcomm QRB5165 processor. I'm sure I can remember that off the top of my head. But it builds upon Qualcomm Technologies' latest offering for the Internet of Things, delivering a solution that will drive the next generation of high-performance, low-power 5G drones, according to the company. Let's have a look.
This is what it looks like when a premium robotics platform takes to the sky and brings with it amazing capabilities. Like cutting-edge AI for deep learning and autonomous flight. Support for up to 7 concurrent cameras for high-resolution perception. Long-range Wi-Fi 6 for communication between operators and other drones. low latency 5G connectivity for remote, long range, and beyond line of sight use, and a power efficient compact design for smaller, lighter, and safer drones. Introducing the...
So let's cut the audio and leave that up on the screen. But the interesting thing about this one, John, Qualcomm obviously have been very much in mobile phones and CPU and chip design, but to do something that is targeted at the drone market with 5G capabilities, with AI capabilities built into the platform, I think definitely exciting for drone manufacturers. Perhaps in a couple of minutes when we get our guests in, we'll ask for their opinion on this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of, I suppose we're at a crossroads here with connectivity. One of the things that allows the military to do so much with their drones is that their C2 link between the aircraft is very robust, has a number of fallbacks and so forth. And so we've had cellular technology which has got a latency. 5G promises, of course, much lower latency and better bandwidth. I noticed Parrot have now a network solution for one of their aircraft that they're trialing. We saw this past week or two, and I think the bet here is, how is the modern UTM going to work? How are we going to manage all of these aircraft on a network eventually? I've always thought that we shouldn't be operating in a domestic Wi-Fi band. I think the regulators should look at a bandwidth like they do with medical equipment. Medical people have their own band for operating Wi-Fi technology in the medical environment, and I think drones should have a band that is unused by the general public. It's reserved for flight operations. So I think a combination might be in the solution eventually, and how we get these things, because the best part about a network solution at the moment is backup. Purely, even just a backup connectivity is good to have, and also sharing it. Once you're onto a 5G network, of course, there are great sharing options. Or you can always share from your ground station, of course, and that's not a real problem. We're doing that today, but long range BVLOS operations, that this might open up some new possibilities as well. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Look, I'm looking forward to it, and I agree with you. Frequency spectrum, the main concern that an aircraft has is reliability, and the fact that it is already congested for general Wi-Fi is certainly an indication that there needs to be something different. Okay, let's move on. We've got our next one over here, and this one is pilot violates the zoo's ban. Well, when you launch a drone from private property, you need to understand the airspace first and have the property owner's consent. One airhead pilot thought it was a good idea to take off from private property without permission when he launched at the Mansfield Zoo, located 120 miles northeast of Melbourne. The zoo owner, Bronwyn Wilson, told Australia's ABC News that the pilot initially had been given authorisation, according to the pilot, to fly the drone around the zoo. When she approached him to sort the situation out, she said that the visitor got defensive and presented himself in an oddly offensive manner. She added that he asked for permission to use the camera, but no mention of any aircraft. So he said, I want to use a camera to film the lions. Can I use a camera? Well, he didn't say a camera drone. But let's face it, it's impossible to argue with an idiot. Never argue with an idiot. They drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Lloyd's nodding his head. No, yeah, that is the problem. We've seen that so many times. It just doesn't do us any favours, and we're going to have to deal with this problem too. That the recreational users will continue to create problems and not giving us a good rap. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's a lot of risk flying around exotic animals. We've got rules in Australia about flying around marine life in any aircraft, whether it's conventionally piloted aircraft or remote aircraft. So, I mean, do we have to spell it out? I just have a worry that common sense is never going to play in the idiot's idea of the right thing to do either. So, what do you do?
let's do this. I'd like to get Lloyd up on the screen just for a couple of moments. Have you got any thoughts, Lloyd?
Oh,
Yeah, the term "dumber than a box of rocks" comes to mind. I mean,
it
if
does.
if this guy's brain were gasoline, he wouldn't have enough power to power a piss-ants mini bike around the inside of a peanut shell.
Thank you.
Okay. I knew we could rely on Lloyd to make a comment or two.
Right commentary there for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
One
Let's
every minute.
one born every minute. Let's go on to our next story. And this one is about Spot. And at a recent keynote address in Atlanta, one speaker didn't have to worry about COVID. Spot, the mobility robot from Boston Dynamics, had a place on the stage accompanied by their channel sales manager, Tim Dykstra. The agile robot has been used in multiple applications, but Tim believes it's all about perception with the multitude of cameras and AI. To move up steps, for example, the operator simply presses the forward button, and as the robot approaches the stairs, it knows how to navigate them. But it's not all about stair climbing. In the video we're going to look at here, we're going to see some precision coordinated movement between multiple units. Check this out.
into your eyes. 어르신 시된 my mind. 새로운 만남들은 나를 충전해.
Now, John, I'm just waiting for you to comment. Are we going to have, you know, you've got synchronized swimming. Are we going to have synchronized FPV at some point to music or?
Well, you know, we have a lot of synchronization with multiple drone shows at the moment, which is really impressive too. You know, I see the swarm technologies advancing. I don't know how you would set this up and have something like this. I mean, it's just, to me, it just looks like a lot of work, an incredible amount of very clever work. And I think one of the things that it demonstrates too is we can always understand one of those robots going in and perhaps disarming a bomb or doing something useful. Look at the entertainment industry. I mean, this could be a great MTV music clip. You know, we're going to be entertained by, and I think that's a real possibility. I mean, we're fascinated by technology and the movement of machines. You know, I can remember seeing my first robotic car factory and watching this incredible factory building cars with no one in sight. And it was just remarkable. And I think maybe that's a whole we never even imagined how entertained and how much entertainment will you know, more drones star in movies and music videos and who knows? It's exciting.
Yeah. Speaking of exciting, we're just at the point where we're going to go and have a chat to our guests. And, you know, we've made a couple of references today. So this is Cobra and H.G. Apologies, the ampersand didn't come out on the funky title there. But welcome to our guests. Now, let me get all of their names because we've got so many of them here today. We've got Parshara from H.G. Robotics. We've got Rashapal from H.G. Robotics, and we've got Bruce Wiley from Cobra International. Hi, guys.
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning and welcome. Now, I'll just ask you if you can look at the screen and kind of work out where your head is in that three shot to kind of center yourself, and that'll make it look a lot better. There we go. So I'll just start and ask for a brief introduction from each of you. We'll start with Parshara.
All right. My name is Parshara. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Parshara. I'm an industrial designer from H.G. Robotics.
Okay, and what do you do at H.G. Robotics? What's your particular industrial design? Anything else?
I'm an industrial design, and actually we have different kind of professional to design the robot and drone. So in my role, I try to make robotics, drone, more beautiful and make it easier for the user to use.
Okay.
I'm focusing on like the usability of the product as well.
Okay. And we'll move across now to Rashapal. G'day.
I'm Rashpal. I'm an aerospace engineer from H.G. Robotics, and I'm also a team lead of the drone that we are about to talk about today. So usually I'm the guy who kind of established the concept of the drone in our company and design an aerodynamics part of the drone.
Okay. And last but not least, we said that we actually had a look at these products last week, and we said it's a partnership between H.G. Robotics and Cobra International. We've got Bruce from Cobra. Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
Good, guys. How you all doing? Yeah.
Spectacular. So I'll actually start with you, Bruce, if I may, and you can briefly say what you do at Cobra and the two companies working together. How did this partnership come about? And I understand that you do the manufacture and H.G. are designing this product. Is that pretty much where we're at?
That's correct. Cobra is 43 years building windsurf equipment and then other water sports equipment, all with composites technology. The world of composites is very wide-ranging, and so the connection with HB Robotics came about. They're obviously very specialized in the drone field, all the electronics, and it's a great partnership of working together. We went through a bunch of prototyping. We made a version that was foam-filled. We made a version that was hollow, fiberglass, carbon fiber, Integra. And when you run through the different composite materials, you can take advantage of different flex or stiffness or lightweight. And prototype number 7 in the end is an incredible blend of technologies. It's foam-filled in some areas where we need a bit of impact. It's using Integra in another area where we need some flex. It's a full carbon fiber sandwich with the landing gear. And then the wingtips are made with a different combination of composites. So seeing the two teams work together has really been a bit of a dream, actually. It's nice. It's a very skilled electronics team with our very skilled engineering team as well.
Okay, so what we'll do, we're going to play the video in the background, and we'll get the two guys from HG to quickly explain about this aircraft. Where did the vision come from? Whose idea was it to build this aircraft, and what were the design parameters that led to what we've got here?
We start, this drone is called Veto, and it's a VTOL drone. It's a 2-seater VTOL drone. At first, we came up with this idea from the pain point of fixed-wing aircraft or fixed-wing UAV that we have used before. And we kind of, at that time, there were not so many VTOL drones like nowadays. But from that aspect, we wanted to build a fixed-wing drone that was easier to use and kind of user-friendly for the newcomer into the drone industry. And we also would like to break through the safety and also the reliability of the fixed-wing drones.
Okay, so what was the background of HG Robotics? So before you did this particular product, what was immediately before that? How did you get to where we are today?
Okay. Hello. Okay.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. HG Robotics actually work on several products. We build security robot. We do agricultural drone, spraying drone. We also do submarine inspecting the gas pipe, and also patrol boat for security survey. So those kind of things led us to this product, because we have built a lot of things flying in the air, do the thing on the ground, and do the thing under the sea. and we want to build. We would like to combine this knowledge and make this drone easier for the user.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I'll get John to jump in as well. John, have you got some? You're the aviation guru here. Let's get you to ask some questions.
Yeah, I really like the design of the aircraft, and the VTOL. There is another product in the market that is quite similar to the technology that you're using. In many ways, I particularly like the wing shape. I've got one question though that's been going with me around about the nose of the aircraft. Everything looks quite traditional to me in sense of the wing platform. What is going on with the front of the aircraft, and why? I know the battery goes in the front. Am I correct with that? Is that where you load the battery from?
Yeah, if you look at the nose of the aircraft, it's look kind of boxy. That's
Yeah.
because if you check out our page on Facebook or social medias, H.G.
Yep.
Robotics page, you see the videos that this drone will precisely land on kind of landing pad. And right now, we are working on the autonomous landing pad that will automatically switch the battery, or replace the battery of the drone between flights. So we need to make the nose kind of easy for the battery gripper of the landing pad
Yeah.
to grab the battery. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the
great.
reason.
It is. I mean, I can see how it's functional. In terms of what you conventionally expect the nose of the aircraft to look like. As you said, it's quite boxy. It's got that interesting shape at the front, and yet, I can see the rest of the aircraft is very streamlined. I noticed that you've got using polyhedral and all of the other quite large elevon surfaces and so forth for the landing. So one of the things I suppose that jump right out of the box that your competitor, their aircraft is fairly expensive. How do you see your product fitting into the market in terms of price point? I mean, in some ways yours is more advanced technologically, so one would expect to pay for those precision landing things that you're developing. But do you think there is a price point there for this type of aircraft and the type of work that it does? I'm throwing it out there to anyone, really.
Actually, we have some answer in mind. For the price point, we kind of want to make this drone more affordable than our competitors.
Yeah,
I would say, but
that probably won't be
I can't
hard.
reveal the number now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want a number, but just to give you a ballpark, we've been looking at the Ortel Dragonfish coming in. This was going to be an aircraft, and I'm sure we've shown it a couple of times on the show. So finally, we have a price for that of $240,000 US. For a platform. I mean, that's a lot of coin. That's not going to be pulled up by anyone but perhaps government agencies and so forth. And we have this huge jump, and we see VTOL products are at a premium price generally. And I mean, you obviously having something that people is even a little bit more affordable to encourage them to use the technology. A $240,000 system, is an expensive crash, but by anyone's standard. But just even the acquisition, and I think that your aircraft would easily do what they're claiming that the Dragonfish might do, and perhaps more. We talked about 5G before. I know that you've got 4G, 5G connectivity in your aircraft, which is fantastic. And one of the other things, and this is a tech kind of thing too, because many of the people that watch this show love to build and theorize and talk aeronautics. We have been looking at adjustable CFG for a tail setter platform. where obviously a very rear CFG, when the aircraft, the center of gravity is very much towards the rear, stabilizes the airplane in hover mode, and then of course it's usually too far back in forward flight. Have you guys ever tried anything like that in your R&D in terms of
We
shiftable
try off
CFG?
those. Honestly, we try off those. The video that you just saw, the aircraft has what we call negative static margin, or it's not stable at all without a computer that control the drone. That help the hovering more stable, but for the forward flight, it will be quite complex. So we need to tune the controls of the aircraft to be compatible with both flight mode, and we also comprise or includes the other technology to help this drone more stable too. Like if you have flown hovering fixed wing aircraft, you will kind of notice that if you face the wind, make the aircraft facing the wind, or what we call headwind, the aircraft will have better roll stability and yaw stability. So our flight control can sense the direction of the wind that act on the drones, and the drone will adjust the angle that has the safest stability.
Because modern airlines use it.
Can I just jump in for a sec? So something that John was touching on before was certainly the market that you're targeting and comparing it to another product. Do you think that there's something that is a non-enterprise version of this product that will ever come out? So we've got a mixture of people that are our audience, some which are commercial users and those which are non-commercial users who may be interested in it for other reasons. Where do you think that might potentially go?
Okay, so actually we're trying to build a VTOL platform for everyone. Definitely we would like to make it a lot cheaper than our competitor. And our concept is trying to make this kind of like, for people who fly multi-rotor, and easier enough for them to jump into fixed wing platform. So that's our concept at the beginning. So definitely we will have the kind of like a more user-friendly platform for like normal people, not only for enterprise.
And we are willing to do a customizable order as well. Like we kind of flexible for the configuration that will go out to each customer.
Okay.
Have you scaled it up at all? One of the questions I always come around to when I see a product, and yours looks very refined to me in many ways. Does it scale up? Do you imagine even going beyond enterprise to a 3-meter wingspan aircraft, so that would have enormous capability, of course?
We have planned that in the future.
Yeah, that's good.
So, but it kind of take quite a long time to develop something that is also user friendly and also has got that high performance.
Yep.
So we want to make it for the next version, but not for now.
Yeah, sure. I know, I understand that entirely. But I mean, yeah, of course, you put so much time and effort into building something, you always wonder about that. And I mean, the size to me, the wing loading is much lower because of the amount of wing that you've got. The whole aircraft is a wing. And this is one of the things that tail setters really benefit from in terms of low drag and just an absolutely massive wing area for that span. Lloyd, jump in because you have a question here too, and it's good to
Yeah,
get.
I mean,
yeah.
I was just kind of curious about how far down the road are you guys from being in full production and sale, or say, guys like me. I'm not a drone guy. I'm just, well, I am, but I'm very amateur at it. And how far down the road are you from me being able to go down to or order one off online from you guys? How far down the road, how far into the future will it be before we see these in production?
Let me answer.
Bruce might have that one.
The development team have been working on this, I think it's a couple of years now. So the final versions are coming out well. They're testing really well. Just tooling up for final production is more a matter of months, just a couple of months. And I think that we can do that.
Oh,
You mentioned also for
okay,
the
excellent.
larger version that technically, from a composites perspective, we are already making some larger versions in different fields. So that would be an exciting challenge to work on with H.G. Robotics next time around as well.
Sure. Yeah,
Actually,
no, I
we just
understand.
Thank you.
actually we just had meeting about the process, how far we has gone just yesterday. Right now we are setting up the new mold for the production, so the product will come out not later than the early of next year.
Okay.
Excellent.
So let
Right.
me
Yeah.
jump in with a couple of bits and pieces. So what do you see as the target markets? I've got two questions. The target markets of people who are going to use it, the first generation of the product. So that's definitely, is it enterprise and what sectors? And the second question, endurance, battery capabilities. What kind of endurance are you getting out of the product at the moment?
So for the industry, we aim mainly for the surveying, any kind of civilian surveying, from agricultural to industry surveying, professional surveying, and from the flexible payload capability, we can put like almost any kind of sensors or payload that is not weighed more than 600 grams up in the air, or actually maximum for 800 grams. So there are many possibilities of industry that we can jump into.
Okay.
Mainly we aim for the surveying.
Okay. And the other question in terms of endurance?
Pashara, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, can I add a little bit to that before we jumping into another question? So as I mentioned before that we also do agricultural drone, spraying drone. The VTOL actually will be a part of that system. We have the fleet management system for the agricultural drone and application to control the spraying drone. And the VTOL will step in for the survey, kind of inspecting the plants and kind of inspect the plant, how the plants are, and we can get all those data via the multi-spectrum camera, and we can do data analysis to plan how we would like to spray kind of like agricultural chemical on the plants. So VTOL will be a part of that as well.
Okay. And the endurance, that was the other question?
For the endurance we've got now is about an hour for the flight time, 1 hour. So we can go for about 50 kilometers in range.
Okay. Okay. Look, it sounds an interesting product, and we'll definitely be keeping track of that. John, did you have anything else?
Look, I really wish you guys well in this. It's exciting, and it also shows, I think, the collaboration between an experienced composite manufacturer and a robotics company is the perfect blend for producing this type of product. We've seen another example, an Australian aircraft same thing, coming out of high tech boat design, and composites is not something you can pick up as a hobbyist either. There's a lot of work in the way composites in modern aircraft, conventionally piloted aircraft as well. We're seeing composites everywhere, Cirrus Vision Jet, and more. So using that experience and bringing it into the UAV industry is really exciting. So you guys are well on the way, and a really interesting design, and one that I'm always happy to promote. Tail sitters, I think they're definitely the future of this type of job. So, and good luck with it. I think it's a great work, and we'll be watching you as you come into the market, and hope it's strong.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
The realm of composites as well. Using the different materials, the different processes, we can fine tune the strength, the flex. The weight targets are also a real challenge to hit. But you're right. The realm of composites is so wide. It's not something that you pick up overnight. So we've really brought in many different facets into different parts of the drone here, and it's been a real pleasure working with the H.G team. A good blend of experience.
Okay. Well, thank you again all for being with us today. It's certainly been good to have you on the screen, and we didn't break the internet too badly. We kind of went through that as well as could be expected. Now, normally we do have a bit of fun and have a game of Stump the Yank, and I haven't prepared for that today. But I tell you what, just for the fun of it, let's just have a few seconds of...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to play Stump the Yank.
So this is a game that we have our guests play. We just normally have Aussie trivia that we ask our American guests to answer some silly questions about Australia. We might ask them, what are budgie smugglers? Now, in the middle, we've got an Aussie who's living in Thailand, and we've got two people from Thailand who are in partnership. I thought, let's mix it up. Instead of asking Lloyd to come up with a question, Bruce, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's something as an Aussie that you think these guys will come up with a funny answer about? Pick anything you like. Totally unplanned, so apologies for putting you on the spot.
We had budgie smugglers last week.
I'm trying to think of a delicacy in Sydney that, spoken with slang, would be what is that? It's dog's eye with dead horse.
Yep, absolutely.
So, what's a dog's eye with dead horse? John, do you want to come up with a couple of potential answers for that?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. A dog's eye with dead horse is a veterinary practice.
Well, you're not supposed to answer, John.
No. He's giving three answers for our two.
Three answers. My bad.
Yeah.
But I've learned from an expert, Lloyd. So the first is is it a beer, a brand of beer? Is it an unusual delicacy that Australians seem to enjoy on a regular basis, or is it a horror movie?
So that's a question for our two guests from H.G. Robotics. Do you pick A, B, or C?
I would go with the beer.
Yeah.
I'll go with the horror movie.
We've got a horror movie and a beer.
In fact, it's rhyming slang. I'll let Bruce give you the answer.
From memory, I mean, that's been a while now, but that would be the classic Aussie meat pie with tomato sauce.
Or in other words, a delicacy.
Yeah.
The delicacy.
Okay.
Yep.
All wrong.
So we won't go with any more questions today. We won't torture you any further, but we do normally like to have a bit of fun. We've normally got American guests and we like poking fun at them, but today you lost. Okay.
Actually, there is an answer on the comment on the chat on YouTube.
Okay, good.
Let me see. Where is the YouTube answer? Oh, Pie and Sauce Gear Changer. Yeah. Gear Changer also says, what is Vegemite? Have you guys heard of Vegemite and have you eaten it? No? Well, that's definitely something.
Do you miss Vegemite?
Listen,
I get refills once in a while. We normally have customers coming by checking their products, so I get a bit of a refill from all over the world once in a while. Yeah, COVID's slowing down my supplies though, so we need to get rid of this thing.
Yeah, we do need to get rid of it. I'm asking two people from Thailand about whether they eat Vegemite. To me, is it crazy? Because what's the choice? I could eat Thai food or I could eat Vegemite.
I tell you what, Bruce, the next time you have a meeting with the guys negotiating over price, you've got to bargain with them and say, I'm only going to give you a discount if you eat the Vegemite. All right?
Good strategy.
Okay. Look, thanks again for being with us. We're going to go and move on with the rest of the news today. You're welcome to sit in the background and we may have a word to you during the rest of the news if there's anything that interests you, or jump in the chat, have a chat to some of our viewers there. But thanks very much for being our guest today.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for having us as well.
Thank you. So we move on from that. They were great. That was good to hear about, a partnership. They're all, all three of them are in Thailand. And, it's certainly good to see an Aussie living in Thailand, partnering with some people over there. Great story. Let's move on. We're going to go to another technology story very, very briefly. Intl, everyone's heard of Intl, so they've recently tweeted out about a drone show video revealing their new ARC branding. In the video, we can see the drones forming an outline of a desktop video card. Let's have a look. So this is just some of their branding to start with. We've seen so many drone light shows and they keep on getting more impressive every time. But there's the video card. In and out.
Wow.
Let's play. John,
Trevor's asking how many drones. Do we know how many drones that is?
I can have a look at that. Let me click on that right now. Open in a new tab. Let's go over here. Drone show, drone outline. No, it didn't tell us, unfortunately.
Lots. I think
lots.
Lots.
Was that a metric lot or is that imperial?
No, always. I've been working metric here, mate. Metric lots.
Yeah.
or in Australia, as we have another word for it, but I won't say it.
Okay. And the next one we've got here. Yeah. This clip was posted by a user called Monkey in the Sky. This is only a teaser clip of a much longer set of videos on their YouTube channel. But the patterns in the reflections in this vision are absolutely mesmerizing. So here's a question for you, John. They're doing obviously some night flying there, and just looking at the building and the reflections coming out of the building. The first time I saw this, I thought it's got to be computer generated or something else in there. Can you see that clearly from?
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my other screen. Yeah, look, that you sometimes get that effect from the surface of a building, and it's the light from other buildings reflecting off the glass of the tower. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's
If you do want to check this out, the link to the video is in the description. In fact, all of the links to all of our stories in the description each week. And they've got a much longer clip. Go and check it out. It looks beautiful.
And there's a way too to change your settings when you're looking at that yaw there. Just because we all love to look at these things. Always soften the yaw when you're working with video, and you'll get a much smoother pan as you move around. One of the things that makes drone videos, because you're stabilized in the other directions, but yaw can make the take a real smoothness, and that's how you get a really good one. There's actually settings in many of the DJI drones that you can have a float, so that as you move around, the aircraft slowly decelerates and smooths out the yaw as you go. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in because it's always a fun thing when you're looking at videos.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick comment to our viewers. Let us know if the stream is having any issues. Just saw some red lights, but they've cleared. So do let us know in the chat if we've got any problems there. This next one is a drone launching tank. And originally, oops, I skipped. No, I didn't skip one. I did have video of this, but it didn't work, unfortunately. So we've only got a photo. But still, that's all right. What's better than an autonomous 10-ton diesel-electric tank that can hit off-road speeds of up to 25 miles an hour? Probably one that also features a remotely operated 30mm cannon and 7.62mm automatic machine gun. But that's not all. This one doesn't come equipped with steak knives, but it does have the ability to deploy drones produced by FLIR Systems, which can deliver 360-degree high-quality video feeds on the surrounding environment. Now, again, apologies. Actually, you know what? I need this. There we go.
Well, you asked the question, Greg. You asked the question, what's better than a tank that launches a drone? I can tell you what's better is a drone that launches a tank.
It's a force multiplier.
Yeah, that's right, Lloyd. Lloyd woke up then. As soon as you started talking about what it could do, he was into the tanks right away.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple more stories here in the background here. The next one, let's move on. In Jerusalem, the Heron drone, made by Israel Aerospace Industries, has been taking part in firefighting efforts against a Jerusalem area blaze days after Greek forces used the same platform to battle wildfires in Greece. The Heron is a medium-altitude, long-endurance type platform used around the world for strategic and tactical missions. According to IAI, it can fly for up to 45 hours and is able to reach an altitude of 35,000 feet. Now, to our guests that are visiting us from Thailand, you probably have no idea why on earth we put that on the screen today, but there is a reason. One of our fellow YouTubers, Ken Heron, and just the fact that there's a Heron drone fighting fires elsewhere in the world is amusing to us.
Look at the size of that thing, 45 hours?
45 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you it's composite as well, to be honest with you.
Absolutely, Bruce. Absolutely.
We make some larger drones for different functions as well, so it doesn't look that different to some of the larger stuff we make as well. So it's again just the amazing world. I mean, I come from a windsurfing background. I used to build my windsurfing boards at different levels, but as the world progresses, the function and the uses of composites, it doesn't stop. It's just going to go further and further. Really, really adaptable and amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is incredible, isn't it?
Interesting aircraft. We've got one more story here for today. And let me just get my notes, because this one I had to write a separate script for it. Where's that window? It's gone. Never mind, I'll just do it without the script. So we're going to play a few videos, and this is relating to TikTok. And, you know, you guys have seen TikTok videos. Let's put the first one up. So this first video is from, there we go. She's given me the bit of paper. This is from a TikToker called Bella Porsche. So let's just play the first one. So, obviously droners are not necessarily going to be using TikTok as much because we kind of like to do longer cinematic things. And then, but one droner with a channel called To Touch an Emu, he's a droner, and he saw how many million videos Bella's videos got and thought, yeah, let's give that a try. And
Yeah, right.
yeah, so then Bella Porsche saw his video and said, let's go do a collab. And the next thing you know, you've got the two of them getting together there and doing the drone orbits around the two of them dancing. But that's where it got weird. So the next thing you know is Dr. Phil saw this and said, well, let's do something ourselves. Play the next clip. So Dr. Phil saw that. And there he goes, well, I can do that too. I can do my droning and I can do my orbiting and I can be dancing to this music. We don't have the music here for copyright reasons, but there's Dr. Phil getting jiggy with it. And then the next thing you know, To Touch an Emu, he saw Dr. Phil's video and reacting to that. And there is some really cool audio with some of this, so you've got to go and watch these. And then finally, so he had to do one last one, but he's just wondering, how is he ever going to get away from being known as the drone dancing guy? So that's the quick story of TikTok droning.
Good grief. Lloyd's shaking his head. I don't know where you get these things from, mate, sometimes.
You can't unsee that crap.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
I never want to see Dr. Phil getting jiggy. He's an idiot to begin with, but to see him getting jiggy, really? Give me a break.
I know.
Get back on your talk show. Get out of the dance thing, Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's just terrible.
You know what though, Grumpy? I'm just wondering if we can possibly, I'm just wondering if you can get your drone out and set it to do an orbit and get you getting jiggy with it. Now that'll get millions of views if...
Bite me. Yeah. That's the only thing I can say. No way. No, my kids would see that. I don't want the, no. Not only do I not want them watching Dr. Phil, I don't want them watching me. That's just wrong in so many levels.
Well, maybe look at it this way, Grumpy. Maybe all of these people that are going to do selfie circular TikTok videos are going to end up on Dr. Phil's show one day, and having to unpack all this stuff and go through their childhood problems with TikTok. I mean, who knows?
They're going to, after seeing Dr. Phil dance like that, there's a lot of them going to need a psychiatrist. That's for sure. And if I'm put up there, I guarantee you they'll need a psychiatrist.
Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the show. Let's put Dr. Phil away. Enough of that for today. But a couple of quick announcements. So, number one, next week is a global fly-in. It's going to be an hour earlier than our normal start time, so that in the US you guys can come in and fly. But it's not going to be the same as our previous global fly-in. So I'm not going to be hosting it from here. Kelly Shaw's is going to be hosting it from his studio. I'll get the video feeds from all your drones to come into here. I'll produce that and send that to Kelly. So we'll split it up in two. It'll be a lot easier to make a nice seamless video. And my producer wife sitting over there is going to love it. So if you want to fly, here's what you need to do. At the end of the show today, you're going to come into Discord if you're available, and I'll help you. We can do a test video feed from your drone today. So go and get your drones out now, get a battery, plug it in. We're going to send video to me today. Now, I'll help you to do it so that a week from today, you'll be on Ready, Set, Drone. You'll be on my channel. You'll be on Lloyd's channel. We'll send you everywhere, and it'll be a fun day. So let's go and do a practice of that today. That's number one. Number two, we've got guests coming out of our wazoo. So after we had a spate of guests, a drought of guests where we didn't have anyone lined up, We've now got a whole heap. Let me just get my schedule here on my screen. So next week we've got Kelly Shaw's for that global fly-in. Then we've got the Advanced Aircraft Company the following week. Then we've got NoLimitDrones, Kim. Then we've got Dean Greenblatt, the drone lawyer dude that we had before. Then we've got Laurent, who's a guy who's filming people on a slack line going across a cliff and some really beautiful footage. Then we've got Dan's Tube and many, many, many more. So do stick with us for the weeks to come. We've got some great guests lined up and we'd love you to be part of it. Do go and share our stream with some other people. Get your friends to come and watch us, help grow the channel. But that's all I've got for today. John, a few last words from you.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We've got another month of lockdown here in Sydney, and I'm well into working on building our new VTOL, which is a converted flying wing, and it's a quad plane. And look, if you're really stuck with things to do and you can't get out of the house, build something. It's great fun, and you never know. Once we get out of lockdown, you can actually go and fly it. But I'll get some photos of that in the next week, Greg, or the week after, probably more appropriate. And I might even have some hover videos of our new aircraft in the mix. So, yep, fly safe, everyone. And I'll look forward to the coming weeks.
Absolutely. And our guests, we'll just put you up on screen one more time, the three of you there. We'll start with you. Yep. Any last words or thoughts you want to share to our viewers today?
So thanks for having us here. Have good flying. But if you are having lockdown like us, just keep building something great.
Can you do us a favor? Can you get some really beautiful Thai food and put it in with some dry ice and send it over here? I miss not going to Thailand.
Those guys eat like kings.
It's easier to give you a recipe.
Yeah, my wife's doing a big thumbs up, and to you as well. Any last thoughts before we go?
Sure. As you said that right now, Bangkok, in Thailand also lockdown. So being in lockdown is a little difficult. So try to have healthy food. Make food yourself. Try not to get COVID.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bruce.
Thanks a lot, guys. It's been a bit of fun for me, a little bit of Australia on Saturday morning. So enjoyed the banter and really enjoying the project with the H.G. robotics teams. And I think we could be in touch again because you're right, this composites and drones, there's going to be more and more of this. So
look, all three of you, get in touch with me. Yeah, get in touch with me when something physically goes to market. We'd love to get back in touch again.
Sure. Thanks a lot, guys. Really been a pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I want to thank these were absolutely fantastic guests. I think it's really unbelievable. And I'm going to say what I always say: remember, be kind, treat each other better than you would treat yourselves. Remember, everybody matters, including dancing Dr. Phil's, and don't get COVID. Be safe.
Okay. Thanks, Lloydie. Thanks, John. Thanks for being with us, viewers. We'll be back again next time. Have a great week. That's all. Bye-bye for now.
Yep. See you. Bye, everybody.